boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. It's just with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. Well, as we covered over the rumor mill, all the crazy insanity stuff out there, Sadie Sink, of course, of Stranger Things fame, one of the lovely redheads out there in Hollywood that they're not forcing them to change their hair color for roles out there, boys and girls, is going to be in the next Spider-Man movie. But obviously, we don't know anything officially from Marvel as far as what her role is going to be, who she's going to play. There's been a lot of crazy fan speculation. Obviously, some of the obvious choices are an actual proper Mary Jane Watson, being the redhead that we all know and adore from the comic books, not the MJ weird kind of version that they got with Zendaya out there. But hey, you know what? That worked out really well for Tom Holland. They have a wonderful relationship. So yay, you know what? That worked out. It's okay. But so that one, there's been some other rumors and some other speculation. There's also been some thoughts that maybe Jean Grey could be a potential, right? That was a rumor that was going around out there as well. But at the end of the day, there was also some rumors going around about her maybe just being a one-off character, maybe being something that wouldn't be super important to the overall storytelling. Of course, trying to squash all of our wonderful ideas of her being Mary Jane Watson or her, of course, being our Phoenix or anything like that. So, well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like anybody out there who's on the train of trying to bash Sadie Sink, oh, it's just a one-off character, we'll never ever see her again, she's not going to be a major player. Well, guess what? Now we essentially have that as good as confirmed that that is not the case whatsoever, and Sadie Sink will indeed, much like all the rumors we'd reported on for a long time, have said she will indeed be playing a major role. Because boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Sadie Sink is going to be joining Avengers Secret Wars. And no, this isn't just from our typical rumor mill over there at Cosmic Book News with Matt McGloin. No, this is via an article from Deadline, boys and girls. And if Deadline's putting it out there, they are 99.9% confident beyond a shadow of a doubt that this will happen. Because after all, they're the legacy media institutions and they have integrity that they have to worry about after all. They're not like the rest of those rumor mill rags out there like Cosmic Book News and That Park Place. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, needless to say, everybody essentially considers this good as gold and confirmed. The real question is, of course, still, who will she play? So we're going to check this article from CosmicBook.news because you know what? Screw Deadline. And we're going to get into all the juicy details of exactly what we have been told about this because honestly, we don't want to go through Deadline's entire article over this or give them the ad revenue. But before we do, if you, or for that matter, just the click, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,400. We're sailing our way towards 25 on our journey to 100,000, and I could not do that without every single one of you. And of course, we're sitting at like 2411, I think, right now. But also leave us a comment in the section down below. Are you glad to hear that Sadie Sink will be sticking around inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe? What character would you like to see her play? Who do you think she will actually play? Do you think this will all end up working out? Do you think this will end up going very well? Do you think that they will actually be able to revive themselves with Avengers? Or do you think all of this is just going to be a last desperate hoorah at an already dead brand? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And of course, if you'd like to support the channel, please check the links in the description as well. All right, from CosmicBook.news and our dear sweet Patrick Scanlon. Sadie Sink is making a fast jump from Spider-Man to the Avengers. Deadline reports that the actress will appear in Avengers Secret Wars, filming in London later in 2026, following her role in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which opens July 31st. So yes, boys and girls, people that have access to her schedule have confirmed she will indeed be filming for that. And that right there gives us a lot of ideas. Her role in the Spider-Man film remains under wraps, but Deadline says she's already lined up for Marvel's ensemble blockbuster that shoots after the Spidey movie hits theaters. Sadie is said to be filming Brand New Day through December. Yeah, they're literally, as per usual, cutting that one all the way up to the very last minute because that just lines up right with Kevin Feige's track record on everything he does. We'll see how that works out come July. Spider-Man Brand New Day is scheduled to open on July 31st. This is directly from the Deadline article. There have been much speculation about the role Sink has in the Spidey film, and frankly, I do not know the answer. But I do know that she'll join the cast of the next Avengers picture that shoots here in London later in 2026. So that being said, this leans me towards more of the Jean Grey Phoenix character, right? Jean Grey, X-Men, all of that kind of stuff, right? Because that would make sense to see her show up in Avengers Secret Wars, right? Especially if she's going to end up playing a major role. Now, it doesn't say she's going to have a major role. It just says that she'll be here in London filming for that movie. So, now, that wouldn't line up as well for Mary Jane Watson. Could it be potentially still be her? Sure. Could it just be a scene with her and Spider-Man, Tom Holland, kind of having a moment before he has to dive off into the world? Could she get pulled into it? Because we know of Mary Jane Watson's connection to Spider-Man and the background and everything else, and with the multiverse and all of that kind of stuff. Could you find it a legitimate, halfway decent excuse for the story to bring her in for that? Absolutely. Would I love to see that? Sure. Is that what I'm rooting for in my own personal headcanon? Yes. Right? Because I hate the erasure of redheads in Hollywood. Absolutely cannot stand that. Hashtag Ginger Lives Matter. Right? But at the end of the day, logically, it makes a lot more sense if she's going to show up in if in Secret Wars, that she's Jean Grey. Could we all be completely and totally wrong and she'd be playing another character? Sure. But that really wouldn't make a lot of sense if she was just kind of a side character for her to show up in Avengers Secret Wars, other than the fact that we all literally know they're going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at that movie. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that one, boys and girls. Sink jumping from Brand New Day straight into the Avengers film indicates Marvel may be setting up her character with a long-term importance. Fans have already been guessing everything from a mutant to a multiverse character, though nothing is confirmed. And of course, she's gorgeous. She just is. And maybe that's because I have an affinity for redheads, but the lady's absolutely lovely. What is clear is that Marvel doesn't put an actor in both a Spider-Man film and an Avengers movie unless the character connects across stories and is a big role, which absolutely is the case. And it would be odd to introduce Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie, but I mean, this is Kevin Feige's Marvel, boys and girls. They do weird crap all of the time. So, like, I mean, God only knows if we're going to be completely and totally honest when it comes to all of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. I mean, that guy's operating in his own world, does his own thing, doesn't pay attention to the rest of us. And well, we've seen how all that goes. We've seen how all of this goes. Neither Marvel nor Sony have revealed who Sink is to play. The secrecy around Brand New Day has only fueled more theories, especially now that she's expected to appear in Avengers movies soon after. For now, her character remains one of the biggest unanswered questions heading into Marvel's next phase. Sink became a breakout thanks to Stranger Things, yada, yada, yada. And fans won't have to wait long to see her character fits into the Marvel fan plans. And that's an absolute fact. You know, we kind of watched her kind of grow up on Stranger Things a little bit, right? Obviously, the actress is in her early 20s or something like that, somewhere along there now. But it's one of them situations where she had a great job. She's done a great job in Stranger Things. But what are they going to use her in for Marvel? Like I said, this can't be a one-off character. Like some of the fans, some of the little psychopaths out there were trying to bash Sadie Sink and say, it should just be a one-off. She's not going to be important, whatever. First off, from a hiring perspective, you wouldn't waste a Stranger Things actress that way, especially considering how popular that show is. Certainly more popular than anything Disney is producing right now, right? The Jean Grey being introduced in a Spider-Man film does seem really odd and weird too. Mary Jane Watson makes the most sense for appearing in a Spider-Man movie. And if they decide to do great Gwen Stacy as a redhead instead of a blonde, that would be really weird, and that would be really strange as well. But honestly, I wouldn't put anything past Kevin Feige's Marvel at this point. But at the end of the day, boys and girls, we still don't know. But these are some very positive signs that show us this isn't just going to be a one-off character. She isn't just some one and done that they bring in for something quick and then it's all over. That's not going to happen. She is going to play a major role in the future of that Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, how long that Marvel Cinematic Universe actually ends up going on, considering all the disastrous dumpster fires they've had, I have no idea. But it does move an excellent, well-deserving actress who's very lovely and an actual redhead into the Marvel Cinematic Universe to hopefully play one of the redheaded characters that we all know and love. whether it's Jean Grey or Mary Jane Watson, I'll be perfectly okay with. But if Kevin Feige decides something stupid and wastes this actress in some ridiculous one-off way, it's going to end up blowing up in his face. But as of right now, boys and girls, she is confirmed for Avengers Secret Wars. And that means Sadie Sink's future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is not small. She's going to be a major player. The only question now is, who is that major player going to be? Jean Grey or Mary Jane Watson? At the end of the day, we'll find out come July when this next Spider-Man film comes out. And guess what, Kevin Feige? You better be ready for it because the fans will decide and they are hypercritical of any choice you make right now. So don't be stupid and waste Sadie Sink. But after all, this is Kevin Feige's Marvel. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.